If you're building a startup or you're working in venture capital, age is both your biggest advantage and your biggest liability. Let's talk about it. This is something I have a lot of direct experience with. I was super young when I started in VC, was super young when I was sitting on my first board seats, super young when I was leading my first deals. In venture and high finance broadly, people look at age as a measure of experience. And so if you're younger, you have to prove that you have similar experience or perform similarly to founders who are, 10, 15 years older than you, to investors who are 10 or 15 years older than you. Obviously, if you're super young as a founder, that becomes an even bigger liability. If you're still in high school, still in college, people wonder where your priorities are and how committed or how stable you are in actually executing on a company or executing on a business idea. But outside of that, the only way to combat age is by having an unmistakable stack of evidence that you are precisely what you say you are, that you have experience, that you know how to execute, that you know how to do things just as well as anybody with more years on you. For me as an investor, that was my angel track record. I started angel investing while I was still in college with, very small checks, getting into rounds that I had, frankly speaking, no right to be in. When I see that in founders, it usually looks more like already built products, already realized revenue, great social media followings, incredible marketing skills. These are all things that you can quickly demonstrate and show that you have the experience and the wherewithal to execute where somebody who has more years on you may or may not. Personally, I love younger founders because there's a lot less to lose when you're in your early 20s, when you're in your mid 20s. You don't have a family, you can take real risk. I think that's what venture capital should be, is taking real risk. Obviously, that starts to get dicey. If you're still in college, it's really always hard to back somebody who's part-timing a startup, and that goes in any capacity. If you've never actually engineered something, that can also be tricky too. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that you have enough evidence to show that you are credible, even if you are younger. And at that point, age becomes a major advantage for you.